And let's bring you more now on the anti-austerity protest taking place in central London. Matt Wrack is the General Secretary of the Fire Brigades Union. He spoke at the start of the march a few moments ago and is taking the time to talk to us now. Matt Wrack, many thanks for joining us. It doesn't seem much longer than a fortnight that Theresa May was telling her own Conservative MPs that austerity was over. I presume you don't believe her?
No, we don't believe her. In my own service, the Fire and Rescue Service has been absolutely decimated, cut to pieces by the policies of this government. 11,000 firefighter jobs have gone, record numbers of fire stations have closed, record numbers of fire engines axed. We're now taking longer to get to fires and other emergencies than we were 20 years ago. So that's the effect of austerity on the Fire and Rescue Service, and it's not ended at all.
And yet, despite how many tens of thousands of people may turn out on this march today calling for an end to austerity, Theresa May can point to the fact that at the election not that long ago, millions voted for her programme, which she at least in part will be able to put forward.
Well, she's got a huge problem, hasn't she? She hasn't got a majority. There is no majority for the policies that she set out before the people at the election. She's had to rely on an agreement with the DUP. The DUP has very different policies on public services and on public sector pay. The DUP has a big working class vote in Northern Ireland. They didn't vote to see public services cut to pieces by this government, and I think Theresa May has got a huge problem. Every single vote, and she seems to not want Parliament to be sitting because she doesn't want votes in Parliament, because the more votes there are, the more likely she is to lose one of them.
Of course, in the wake of the terrible events at Grenfell Tower, there has been a huge focus on cuts to local authority spending. In your mind, in your position within the FBU, do you see a direct link between the restriction in funds going to local authorities and the deaths of at least 80 people at Grenfell Tower, as some others, particularly within the Labour Party, have suggested?
I think it is a very complex relationship. This didn't happen by accident. This was not an act of God. It was a horrific fire. But it's the failings that led to it happening on that scale are the result of political decisions, a series of decisions that have been taken over many years. That includes the deregulation of building control within local authorities, privatisation of building control, the destruction and decimation of fire and rescue service fire safety inspections, complete obsession with deregulation, when we had the former Prime Minister describing health and safety as a monster that must be slain. That gives you an idea of the sort of stuff that those of us who are interested in public safety run into every time we raise safety issues with central government. So there's a whole series of issues that need to be addressed. In terms of cuts, then clearly in the 4 miles surrounding that fire, 50% of the fire service emergency cover has gone over the past few years. That does impact on how quickly firefighters can respond and react to an incident. Now, this obviously was on a huge scale and it was a unique incident. There is, incidentally, no other fire service in the UK that could provide the level of resources that the London Fire Brigade provided to this particular incident. They don't have the number of fire engines available at night. They don't have the number of firefighters on duty at night. So the question arises, because of the cuts elsewhere, what would happen if this incident happened in Liverpool, in Manchester, in Newcastle or anywhere else? So cuts do have an impact on the debate around this issue, and they need to be addressed. We've been dismissed by this government for years of raising concerns. We've raised concerns about tower block fires for many, many years, including incidents where our own members have died previously. We've raised concerns about coroner's reports that have been ignored for many years, including by central government. And I hope that this is a wake-up call. It needs to be a turning point in the debate on public safety in the UK.
Mr Wrack, many thanks for joining us. That's Matt Wrack, General Secretary of the Fire Brigades Union.
Thank you.